Hi there, this is Sibu from eCat Online. Well, today we are going to talk about one of the major legs of our online marketing strategies, which is Google AdWords, PPC or pay-per-click. I'm sure you are aware of how much the marketing world has changed over the recent years. One of the major influences or game changers was the introduction of Google AdWords. Well, the introduction of Google AdWords in a way kinda level the ground for all the players to play on level ground. Well, sort of. What does it mean? It means Google AdWords is probably the fastest way to get your website to the top of search engine page result. If you are willing to pay, you can make it to the top. Yes, that's true if you are willing to pay. And it's not that expensive. Why? Because you decide. It's up to you. Even if you have a 500 rand budget for the whole month, you can still run it. You have a 10,000 rand budget for the whole month, you can still run it. 100,000, you can still run it. It's up to you. You are the boss. You determine how much you want to spend, how you want to spend it, where you want to spend it, at what time do you want to spend it. It's all up to you. You can easily decide. If you don't want your ads to show at night, go to your ad scheduling and change the schedule. Let them not play at night. If you don't want your ads to appear in Gauteng, you can change the location. It's simple as that. Well, today we are going to talk about a few things. I just want to give someone who is new, very new on the Google AdWords world, some tips on how to successfully manage their AdWords campaign. One, I have a few pointers that I have set up. It's about 5. One is the location. It is very important to set the location correctly. What do I mean by that? I'm going to use a few examples and I hope that doesn't confuse you. Well, the first example that I'm going to use is an example of a locksmith company. Locksmith, they provide services. So if you are a locksmith company based in Pretoria and only servicing the area of Pretoria, it is very important when you are setting up your Google AdWords campaign to make sure that your location is set in Pretoria. Because if you can have, or if you have your location set in South Africa, that means even someone who is looking for a locksmith in Cape Town, who is looking for a locksmith in Durban, who is looking for a locksmith in PE, will easily find your ad. And when they find your ad, they click on it. And when they click on it, you pay for that. So it's going to be a waste of money on your side. So it's very important that you set your location correctly. I'm going to use another example. One of our clients, which is Campus Africa. Campus Africa, they have they manage accommodation, student accommodation in Gauteng. I'm going to use this one as an example. If their ad location is not set up properly, it means someone who is looking for a student accommodation in Cape Town will, when they search with student accommodation in Cape Town, they can if they just search student accommodation, they can easily pick up Campus Africa, but they are based in Gauteng, so their ad location needs to show precisely or exactly that they are based in Gauteng. The good thing about locations is that you can actually have multiple locations. Let's say, for an example, you are servicing the area of Pretoria, Johannesburg, and for an example, yes. So you can actually set that, like this one, for an example. We have Benoni, we have Centurion, we have Eldorado Park, Germiston, Johannesburg. So this is basically some key suburb in Gauteng that we are targeting to service. I hope that makes sense now. So this is what I'm saying when I say make sure that your location is set properly. Imagine if this was set in South Africa. It means someone who is looking for student accommodation in Cape Town or Durban will still find Campus Africa. And if they click on that, it means Campus Africa is actually paying for that click, yet they are not getting anything out of that click. Okay, let's move right along. Number 2, Our number 2 is targeted keywords. Make sure your keywords are specific and straightforward. What do I mean by that? For an example, Canvas Africa, the one that I just use right now. If Canvas Africa if Canvas Africa can use keywords such as student accommodation in uh, in Cape Town, whereas they only offer student accommodation in Gauteng. Already, that's wrong. That's incorrect. Or if they just use a broad or complex keyword like accommodation. Accommodation is correct, but then they don't offer accommodation for elderly people or people who are not students. Their accommodation is only for students. So it's very important to have your keyword tailored or specific to your target market, so that when the right people are looking for you, they are able to find you. I'll go back to the example I made earlier on of a locksmith company. For a locksmith company to be easily accessible, they need to use relevant keywords as well. If you are a 24-hour locksmith, be sure to use such keywords as 24-hour locksmith, not just locks. Locks is too broad. Anyone who is looking for a lock can find you and click on your ad. When they click on that ad, you pay. And at the end of the day, you pay for something that you are not going to use. You are not going to gain anything out of it. Okay, the third point, it's group your keywords. This is very important. In the Google AdWords industry, we call this, the term that we use is ad group. You need to group your AdWords accordingly to make sense to so that it's like when you have a shop, you petition your shop accordingly. Where you have shoes, where you have clothing for elders, you have clothing for women, you have clothing for men, you partition your shop accordingly to make it easier for someone who is looking for things to find them. So with Google AdWords, it's simple as that. When you are a locksmith company, let's say for an example, you offer locksmith services for automotive, you offer locksmith services for commercial, and you offer locksmith services for residential or domestic. It's very important to group your keywords according to those sectors. And when you create your ad, the actual ad now, you use some of the keywords in your ad to make sense, because Google reads from top down when they are selecting keywords or ads to display on the Google search. So if first of all, if your keyword is matching and the heading of your ad is matching, the description of your ad is also matching, so that gives you more points to appear on the top of Google, compared to someone who has a locksmith company but their keywords are all over, they are not matching the advert that is created for that particular ad group. Okay, I hope that makes sense. The fourth one is make sure you have correct links and your links are working. I'll use the example I used earlier on. When you have a locksmith company and you have created 3 different ad groups, automotive, commercial, and residential, make sure for each of those, if they are landing on different pages on your website, make sure you link them accordingly. For the automotive one, make sure you link it to the automotive section or page of your website. If it's the domestic one, make sure you link it to the domestic page of your website. And after creating the ad, test the links. Make sure the links are working properly. Okay, let's move right along. Another one, this will be the last one for today. Set your monthly budget before your daily budget. What do I mean by that? It's easy to divide your monthly, to have a monthly budget set it up in your mind to say, I want to spend 3,000 on Google AdWords per month, and then you divide that by 30 by 30.5 days. So what does it mean? It means that whatever amount you get there, you will put that as a daily budget. So in each and every day, you have a certain amount of money that you are going to spend. It makes it easier if you set the bigger amount first before you come to the daily budget. Well, thank you for listening. I will end here today. Next time, we're going to talk more about how to create a Google AdWords account, how to create a Google AdWords campaign, how to create a Google AdWords advert. We are going to go step by step. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure to hit that bell notification so that next time when you upload a video, you are the first one to be notified that the video is up. So thank you, and you can visit our website on www.ecadonline.co.za for all your online solution problems. Thank you. Bye.